So, you want to know if someone really likes you? Move your hand. Uh huh. Move your hand. And yeah, I'm talking about all the stuff that you do for them, all the compliments that you give, the validating. Move your hand. I heard Steve Harvey say on a video the only two things that are love unconditionally are babies and dogs. I hope I quoted him correct. Babies and dogs are the only two. Well, the baby is a human being, the dog is an animal. But those are the only two things that are loved unconditionally. Whether I totally disagree or agree, I won't go into the full details about that because it'll take me a while to explain it. But I do want to put some focus on people and the way people move, be it male or female. In our society in America, I can't speak on how it is in other countries, but a lot of a man's worth is tied up in what he does, his earnings, his name, okay? Women are known to choose men based off what? What he does and what he earns. I was told some years ago, people don't marry for love. They marry for a lot of reasons, but never for love. People marry for status. They marry for security, be it financial or physical. They marry for emotional support. They marry in an attempt to fill in voids and gaps, not be alone. People marry for cover up. Some people who are on the other side of the fence, but they're not comfortable coming out, they marry for that. So it's a lot of these selfish reasons that people marry. But that is something that I disagree with because there are some people who marry for love. In the case of high school sweethearts, college babes, when you grew up with a young man or a young girl, you marry based off the experience, the connection, where you see yourselves going, common interest, you share the same faith, values. You're marrying for love. And then some people build themselves up over the course of a marriage, transform, evolve, develop, and then grow out of love with the person who married them for love. The person who wasn't looking for money because they knew that they could earn their own. And they knew that us working together as partners, I'm helping you and you're helping me, we're working together, we're doing good, we're happy. Life is simple. It's not all that arguing and fussing and fighting. We're happy together. I'm supporting you and you're supporting me, and together we are glorifying God. Innocent love. But in accomplishment, just like in the first book of the Bible, when Adam and Eve took the bite of that apple, and now they know good from evil, now they know knowledge. Nothing has changed. As human beings grow in knowledge, as they grow in experience, grow in their finances, not all, but some lose their footing. They forget what it means to be humble. They forget that we are all one step away from losing it all. We are all one off moment away from ruining it all. We are all one bad decision away from being incarcerated. We are all one accident away from being hospitalized or even ended. As I grow and live and look around, observing, I've seen so much. I've seen so much. Some things that, even when I was a child, things that saddened me. You're going to hear me talk about relationships a lot on this channel and on Build at Home Mom. Wherever you find me, even if it's in person, it's a good chance that I'm going to talk about relationships because it's an essential part of life. Even in our makeup. Excuse me, y'all, one moment. Let me pause the video. I'm expecting an online order and I just received a notification. Let me check it real quick. Hold on, I'm coming right back. Okay. Let me go ahead and move on with the video. For those of you who have been involved with someone for a while, involved with people for a while, sometimes in general, we can become too familiar with those who are close to us. You're accustomed to seeing them every day. You're accustomed to, for years, making little comments here and there. A little bit, you get disrespectful. Tomorrow, you get a little bit more disrespectful. You get more comfortable making mean faces at the person who you claim to love. Little by little, you inch and you inch and you inch until you have fully pulled off the mask and you are exactly the monster that you hide. The reason why I say this is because let's think about when things happen. When people end it, what's some of the first things that people say? Oh, I didn't know he or she was going through anything. Oh, they were smiling. They were doing so good. Why did they do that? Especially if it was a married person who chose to take their life. They start wondering and asking questions. They couldn't talk to their spouse about it. Their spouse wasn't there for them. They seem to be such a close couple. I wonder what went wrong. Why did a person feel like death was their only way out? Let's talk about another factor. When divorce happens for some people, same thing. Oh my God, I can't believe it. They were couples goals on social media. Oh, they got along so well, blah, 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 blah. When you hear about domestic violence, sometimes it's the same response. And especially when on the news, when you hear it on the news and they're interviewing people who know the person that's in jail, and they're saying, oh, Tony wouldn't hurt a fly. RJ, he wouldn't kill a bug on the wall. He was such a great guy, mild-mannered, even-tempered. He showed up. He would give a shirt off his back. He would work late. If we needed someone to work overtime, he would volunteer. I can't fathom the point that it's being alleged that Rick is in this type of trouble. I just can't see that. He's just not that type of guy. I have to have more information. I have to have solid proof. You know why this is? The average person does not display exactly who they are when they're out front. I did a video on this. It's on this channel. It's on Ignited. It's called Behind Closed Doors. When people are behind closed doors, and by right, when you get home from work, you have a right. It's your home. Take out your false teeth. Take off the wig, take off your bra, let it all hang. You're at home. There are no rules at home, right? But there's another side to that. The other thing that goes on behind closed doors is the mask come off and the monster comes out. The monster that the people on the outside have never met because they're not familiar with the monster, okay? I'm saying, whatever the case is, it's time to pull your hand. Pull your hand back. It'll let you see exactly how a person feels about you. And I know I just said some other things that can kind of go another way, but it's all around the core of what I'm talking about. Some people are only in your life, husband, wife, friends, it doesn't matter who it is, because of your hand, because of what you do for them, okay? A man can literally hate his wife. A woman could literally hate her husband. But because of what they do for each other, they stay to an extent. Might have a totally different life outside the home, but because of what they receive in the home and how it has extensions and connections outside the home, people stay and they tolerate. Move your hand back, and that will allow you to see just how much a person values you. If you're not doing for them all the time, stroking their ego, spending money on them, will they still honor you? If you disagree with them, if you have your own mind, will they still respect you? These are things that are worth thinking about, because there are so many people who are diminishing who they are because they're trying to hang on to a person who wouldn't give them an umbrella in the rain. If you're walking on a hot day, they wouldn't stop to give you a ride and wouldn't give you a bottle of water from their trunk. That's how much they despise you. Nevertheless, as long as you are giving, they will take. I heard a quote a little while ago that says, givers, make sure you have limits because takers don't have any. Just because someone is sticking around you, it don't mean that they like you, want you, love you, honor you, value you, because when you disagree with them, when you don't come through like they assume you will, when you have your own mind, and God forbid you start growing, God forbid you evolve and want better for yourself, God forbid you want to do better, you want to lose weight, you want to go back to school, things that will make you better and the people around you. God forbid you're no longer in the house with your hair sticking up on top of your head, that you care about your stomach now and the way you look. You're hitting the gym now, you're eating healthy, you're making smoothies, you're working on your finances, settling your debts, building your credit, advancing in life. And all of a sudden, certain people, they're not going to like that, because that is going to block you from catering to them. That is going to be a light bulb. You're going to discover that you have value. You're going to discover that there are other things that you can do with your time instead of just catering to them all the time. You see, people are good with you as long as they're benefiting. But as soon as you set boundaries and you stick with them, you find out how people really feel about you. As I made the comment earlier, based off what Mr. Steve Harvey said about the only things that receive unconditional love are babies and dogs, even that, it depends on the person that's dealing with the baby or the dog. You have some people who toss babies out the window. You have some people who do dog fights, shoot up dogs. So it all depends on who you're dealing with. No entity is safe when you're talking about dealing with a human being. People are cruel. People are selfish. It's time for you to look at yourself the way that God looks at you. You're valuable. You're honorable. And as the word says in the beginning, we were told to subdue this earth, to dominate it, to be someone in this earth. I mean, we weren't born losers. You were born a winner. Do you understand science? Do you understand the science behind conception? How many siblings you beat out to get here? How can you let anyone make you feel like you're a loser? Although I understand how it can happen, as I said, little by little, people will nip at you. They will nip at your confidence with this comment. They will nip at the way you value yourself with pulling resources back from you. In some cases, especially for women who are stay-at-home moms, depending on the type of man that you may be dealing with, they will dangle certain things in front of you, things that you need. And although you're trying to get away from that situation, it makes it harder and slower for you to get out of that situation because they're dangling something in front of you that you need. So you become like a dog trying to get what they're dangling in front of you because it's something that you need in order to survive. It's a dangerous game that some people play. This is why I'm saying, no matter how deep you might find yourself in any situation, and friends do this to each other, parents do this to kids. Some women do it to their husbands. Whoever has the prize, whoever has the authority, the power, the money, the resources, if they're not rooted and grounded in the Word of God, if they have not accepted the Holy Spirit and are living by faith and living under the fear of God, they can be influenced by evil to do so many manners of evil against people, against you. And I don't know who I'm talking to. I could be talking to the offended or the one that's doing the offending. Whatever side of the fence you're on, I'm telling you, God has his eyes on you. If you are the offender, God has his eyes on you. What you do in the dark will eventually come to the light. The world calls it karma. The world calls it karma. It says what goes around comes around. Whereas the Bible says you reap what you sow. Whatever you plant, okay? If you're constantly telling someone, whoever it is, you're nothing without me, you're dead, I don't wish you any success, your life is going to go down without me, whatever negativity that you're speaking on others, understand that those are seeds that you are spitting out. Be careful who you're saying that stuff to. Be careful of the grave you dig, the trap you set. I heard a song, I think the Williams Brothers, it's a gospel group. They said in the lyrics, if you dig one ditch, make sure you dig two, because the trap you set for me just might be for you. So the one who was offended, constantly being offended, you feel like there's no way out. You don't see how you'll ever be able to make it and be anything outside of what you've already been. Because you have just been torn down so long and so often. God has an eye on you. You still have a lot more living to do. And your time is now. You didn't just click on this video for nothing. Move your hand back. Move your hand back. Sometimes we try to take the position of God. Move your hand back. It was never your responsibility to be everything to anyone. It's our responsibility to submit to God and allow him to lead the way. If anyone or anything is taking preeminence over you to where you can barely breathe, where it's costing you your health, it's costing you your mindset, which means you don't think positive anymore. You have no hope, no optimism, no faith. because of what somebody else has been saying to you. That's not of God. It's time for you to rediscover your identity in God outside of that person. Because you've had your hand on it too long. Move your hand back. Stop doing so much. Stop showing up for everything and everyone. And it's time for you to show up for yourself. Because it's a lot of gems that are hidden within you. The world needs to see you. The world needs to hear you. Although that person told you you ain't nothing, nobody want to hear you, you have no influence. You have no reason to talk. You have no experience to talk. Those are all the reasons why you do. Move your hand back. Move your hand back. What goes around comes around. That's all I have to say. Some people think they're getting by. You think you're getting by. And thank God, none of us are God. Because he has grace and mercy on those that he chooses. It's supposed to be renewed every morning, according to the word. Nonetheless, you reap what you sow. Some people think they're doing good because they have a decent marriage. They're in a good marriage. They think they have avoided their karma. But baby, in some way, shape, or form, you are going to pay for the damage you have done to people. But pull your hand back. And instead of doing this, giving, put your hands up and submit to God. Just submit to God. Submit to God. And let God lead you and steer you, because people will lead you astray. People will lead you to the slaughter and tell you it was God. It's important for you to know God for yourself, the voice of God for yourself, because people will say God, 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 God. And you'll be out there on the street begging for bread, following behind people who said that they were following God. I know what I'm talking about. I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.